Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to the game according to me. This is this podcast where I talk about sports and everything like that. It's weekly throughout the football season, and when we're not in football, uh, these are very. There is no regular schedule for this, but I felt like I had to do a podcast. I wanted to get something off my chest, and it's about the All-Star game and how stupid that was. I didn't even watch it. I I watched the SNL 50 special that was on NBC, and I watched WWE um, um, Showdown Sunday or whatever the hell they call it on A&E, where they had their new reality show LFG. Um, a new age, tough enough it is that they brought back WWE rivals, and they had like a WWE countdown show. So, and I watched that. I didn't watch one bit of the All Star game. It's not because I'm like, I'm down on the NBA. A lot of people seem to be down on the NBA, and from one hand, they are correct because it does seem like it's become a league of analytics. Analytics have just ruined the sport. It ruined the baseball, where we have people thinking that walks are better than hits and things like that, and it's only three true outcomes of a strikeout, a walk, or a home run. All that bullshit. And pitchers don't pitch past the sixth or seventh inning because the third time around, you know, batters are more likely to hit them. To get hits off of them, so they only go 5, 6 innings because and things like that. So it's ruined baseball. And it's starting to ruin basketball because now the analytics say, well, you should either shoot something in the paint or shoot a three. And we have teams where Boston shoots threes all like every shot they shoot is almost a three. And then we've got we got teams like my Bulls who shoot threes and they like I think at one point this year they shot 71 threes. I mean, really, and I think they made like 20 of them. So it's not even the average that you're supposed to be because what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be quote unquote math, where if you take 10 twos and you make half of them 50%, so that's five that you got 10 points. But if you take 10 threes and you make four of them, then that's 12, and 12 is greater than 10. So that's the math, and that's why you should shoot threes. But it's stupid. It's not what the game should be about. Yes, threes are part of the game, and I think they're great. But there's also some games about working, playing the ball, passing and things like that. And the mid-range game matters, and it should matter. And so should big guys in the paint. You know, there was talk about Zach Edey this year, the two-time National Player of the Year in college basketball. There was even some people saying that he wasn't going to get drafted in the second round, in the first round of the draft, the two-time National Player of the Year, because he's a low post player, and he gets in the low post. There was a guy a couple of years ago, Luka Garza, who did go in the second round, who was the National Player of the Year, because again, he's a low post player. I mean, really? We've gone so far away that's because the thing. There was the guy, Hassan Whiteside. Hassan Whiteside came out of nowhere. He was like in the G League, and the Miami Heat brought him up, and all of a sudden he was having like 20 points, 20 rebound games, and things like that, and 27 points, 18 rebounds. He was a great player, but he quickly went out of this league because he was a low post player, and he couldn't shoot the three. He couldn't go out and defend the three. defend the 4s and 5s that were out there, outside the three-point line. So he quickly went away because of the stupid, thing. And which again, I just think so. It's ridiculous. So there's a lot of things wrong with this game, and a lot of things wrong with the NBA. The players don't play. They sit out because they have a hangnail. You know, things like that. They give them all this exorbitant amount of money and guaranteed. And they don't do it. And they just don't do it, and they just don't care. And so there's a lot of things with the going on with the NBA, but in particular the All-Star game. And I think one of the things that Adam Silver does, and it was kind of funny. It was on the radio talking about who's the worst, worst commissioner in sports, and the guy on the radio said it was Adam Silver. And I was like, well, no, it can't be Adam Silver, right? I mean, it can't be, right? But when you look at it, maybe it is, right? Because Roger Goodell, he does NFL, yada. He's the best commissioner of the league, without question. You have Rod Manfred in baseball, who he does what he does. He maybe puts his foot in his mouth sometimes and other things like that, but he doesn't really. It doesn't really make a difference, anything like that. Same thing with Gary Bettman in the NHL, and that's been a big thing this couple weeks as well, because the NHL All-Star break, they decided to do this like Four Nations bullshit, which everybody seemed to have wanted to become a part of for some reason. I don't know why. This is one of the things I don't get about sometimes these folks. They have no interest in hockey until it becomes, about America. And then also they want to be talk about hockey. So, whatever. So, it was all of these things. So that was their All-Star game. And then you looked at the NBA All-Star game, and what they did was that they made these, these 8 teams, and it was garbage. That's just what it was just garbage. And this stems back from last year when the East, I think, had 200 points. And I think it was like 200, it was like 210 points to 97, something like that. 190, having 190, something like that, and you could see Adam Silver did not like what happened. He did not like the fact that there was 200 points scored in an All-Star game. And it's, and while I understand that, and while I wish they would play a little bit more, things like that, what they did this year sucked. And they should, and it is, and they shouldn't go to a U.S. versus the world model. I just don't think there is enough players from the world to get a team. You would be leaving out a team. Like even like thinking about it this year, there were 8 players, right? That was all stars this year that came from countries that was not the United States of America. Those 8 players were taken by Chuck. This was obviously a work, I think, because Kenny had all of the young stars, Shaq had all of the OGs, Chuck had all of the foreign players. But if you were just to have a USA versus world, you're not going to come up with 12 things. You're going to come up with 8. who deserves it. If you go back far, you're gonna have players who are not not worthy of being an all-star, but who are gonna be an all-star because you want to do some stupid US versus the world crap. It just needs to be the East versus the West. That's all it needs to be. And just play like that and play the game, or get rid of the game. Then, if you don't like the way they play, then just get rid of it. But there's no reason for the U.S. versus the world stuff happening. It's just that's ridiculous. I mean, it was just absolutely awful. Um, All-Star Saturday Night, I thought was awesome. You know, the three-run contest always good, and we saw Mac McClung put on a show. Three-peat, only person to ever three-peat in the dunk contest. Thought that was great. The Friday night, the celebrity game was always slaps. Never watched the Rising Stars game, just because. That's kind of like the All-Star game. I don't think they really give a care, and they started doing that actually in the Rising Stars game too. Like where the Rising Stars would be on different teams and things like that. They would play like a tournament. No, let's not do that with that one either. Again, just making a team, making rookies, sophomores, or whatever. But they're not making it, rookies in the East, rookies in the West, and then like that. But no, we're not doing the whole, uh, all the other bug stuff. No, we're not doing that. Um, so yeah, I thought it was garbage. Thought it was trash, and just because whatever is happening with the NHL, whatever they're doing, it's NHL is a niche sport. It's not stuff that it's not a mainstream sport. It's hot. The NBA is a mainstream sport. Stop messing with the All-Star game, y'all. Stop doing everything. Again, leave it as East versus West. You know what? Go back to having the players wear their own jerseys. Yeah, go back to having teams wear their own jerseys out there in the court. Instead of, wearing these, Nike infested jerseys and everything like that. No, so please stop messing with the All-Star game, guys. Stop messing with my All-Star game. You know? You're already doing stupid shit like the playing tournament, which is garbage. That's garbage. You're doing things like the in-season tournament, which is garbage. All of this stuff, you're messing with what the NBA works with, and that's why that guy, the radio host that said, Adam Silver is the worst commissioner. I think that could be right because he's trying things and doing things that are just not good for the NBA. So, please, hopefully next year the All-Star game will go back to being what it was. It will go back to being, it's actually where it should be. And yeah, so let's just go ahead and do that. All right, y'all. That is it for me. This is a mini podcast that I wanted to talk about, get this off of my chest, everything like that. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. It's your boy AJTRIP signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.